Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. I am super excited. So in today's video, we are looking at candles and how I see candles. And let me go ahead and give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth, and the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. With that being said, y'all, let's get started. So if you are, this is more or less for our new people that are coming into the market or may not understand the market. Let me explain to you how I have to look at the candles. Again, I am a visual learner, and when I first came into trying to understand what all of this meant, it was a little bit confusing, so I had to break it down bit by bit. And I always explain the market is like putting a puzzle together. You have to learn where that piece go and then learn how to apply that piece. So that's exactly how I had to do it, right? So I may say some things that that may make you laugh, but this is how I see the market. Let me go ahead and say that too, right? So when you see candles, that's exactly what this is. And today, that's what we're going to focus on: the red and the green. We're going to try to block out what's going on in the background. I always call that background noise, right? So we're going to block out those little lines right there. Block out those right now at this point really don't mean a lot to us. Right now, we're focusing on what does this red candle mean and what does this green candle mean. And what does this little line right here mean? That's what we're going to focus on today, right? So in the stock market, there's buyers and sellers, and that's why we call it a trade, because there's someone buying and there's someone selling, and because of that activity, right, we're trading. And the good thing about that is you can make money on either end. The bad thing is you make sure that you're on the right side of the trade, right, so that you can try to make a profit from it. That's the whole point of doing this, is to profit and to be profitable. So there's a red candle and there's a green candle. And when I see the red candle, it makes me think of, sellers. So when I see the green candle, it makes me think of buyers. And it took me a while to understand that, because sometimes you can have a green candle that turns red or a red candle that turns green, and that's okay. It just lets you know who came in and just took control at that time. And that's one of the things I had to be mindful of. Okay, so does that mean the buyers are in control or is the sellers in control? But that's another story right now. So right now, we're looking at this red candle here, and normally when I see this candle, that means the price started here at the top, and the sellers, because the sellers took it all the way down. Red candles, in my opinion, is sellers, right? That means the sellers brought this candle all the way down. We see this little line here. That's because we had some buyers that were willing to take that price all the way back to where this body, and that's what it's called, the body, the longer part, the shaded part here, it's called the body. Some buyers were here to take this price back to where this body is. So the candle opened at the high of the candle was at 157.71, and we're looking at Tesla. Tesla's my absolute favorite. So the high of this candle was 157.71. The low of this candle here is 154.46. However, because of buyers coming in to take this price back up to here, the candle closed at 154.66, and that's important to know where the candle closed, because even though it came all the way down and tested this area, like here, even though it came all the way down and tested this area, buyers were right here to take this candle right back to the upside. So this would have been a candle that did a red to green move, because price was here, it would have been red, and because buyers came up and they were right here ready to take it back to the upside, right? And that's exactly why we see the body being small here. We had sellers on the top. So if you see the wick on the top, that normally means that there was some selling action right there. We have sellers on the top, buyers on the bottom, and that's what formed this candle here to look different from this candle here, because I need to get that off, because we had buyers and sellers. So the high of this candle was 155.25. The low of this candle was 153.78. Buyers were here again to take this price from 153.78 all the way back up to the close of 154.86. So that's why we have the different look of the candle, meaning this long candle here and this, why does this candle look different from this? That's because sellers came in and took this price all the way down. Buyers were there to take it up just a little bit. Well, this right here, it came down here. Buyers were there again to take it right back to the upside. So the buyers and the sellers met somewhere in between. So that's where we have this body of this candle here. This candle to me looks more like an indecision candle because it looks more like a cross, like this one here. It's like, okay, the buyers and the sellers were playing tug of war, and you know, they took the price to one level, which the high of this candle is 155.67, and the low of this candle here is 154.14. Well, guess what? It closed at 154.85. So even though it came down to 154.14, it closed at 154.85. So that's why we have this little bitty, and we look for bodies. I'll explain that. So we look for the body of the candle, and it's not it's not visible, right? It looks like a little cross. And one of the things I had to remember when I first started trading was not to focus on the name of the candle, because I am a visual learner. So at that point, the name wasn't important to me. What was important is the visual. When I see this candle, this is what it means. When it's at the top, this is what it means. When it's at the bottom, this is what it means. Because if I'm looking at a candle at the chart, the name is not going to pop up. The name is not going to be right there for me. What I need to know is when I see visually this candle here, I know what this candle means. Or if I see this candle at the top of a move, like, you know, something like this at the top, I know what it means. It, you know, it can mean a signal of reversal, but sometimes we get so caught up in the name that we miss the meaning of what it actually means. So that's something that I had to learn. Again, I am a visual learner, and I may learn differently, but I needed to not focus on the name. Let's say that, right? So again, this is the body of the candle. That's the shaded area that you see. It's going to be your body of the candle. So this one has a longer body. That means a lot of sellers were there. This have a smaller body with the longer wick at the bottom. That means, you know, buyers brought the price back up. And this little line is called a wick. It's a very small wick here. This is a wick. That means we're seller. If it's at the top here, that means sellers were here and they brought the price down. If it's at the bottom here, that means buyers were here and it brought the price back to the upside. So when you're looking at these candles here, try to focus on buyers and sellers. When you see the red candle, you know the sellers are in. You know, the sellers took that price all the way back down. And when you see the green, you think of the buyers took this price back to the upside. Great example right here. Sellers brought this price all the way down. Buyers brought this price here all the way back to the upside. Now, we'll talk about it in another video, how the different patterns and things like that. But the purpose of this video is to let our new people know when they look at these charts, not to get overwhelmed with not understanding, because I was one too that didn't understand it, but I had to come up with the way of what works for me. And being that, again, I am a visual learner, buyers and sellers. When you see the red candles, you think of sellers. When I see the green candles, I think of buyers. And y'all, I always like to say this, right? So in the market, there's buyers and sellers, and I'm friends with both, because when they're buying, I'm buying, and when they're selling, I'm out. You want to go where everybody else is. If they're selling, I want to be right here and I want to sell with them, and I want to ride this wave down. If they're buying right here, I want to go in and buy, and I want to ride the wave back to the upside. So it's just like riding a wave up and down. In the market, there's buyers and sellers, and I'm friends with both, because when they're buying, I'm buying, and when they're selling, I'm out. I say that often, y'all. So listen, I hope this video is very, very helpful and not too confusing. Again, it's more for our new people that don't know a lot about the market, but this is how I see the candles, right? Red means sellers, green means buyers, and you be friends with both. When they're buying, you go in with them and you buy with them, and when they're selling, you go in and you sell with them, right? Buyers and sellers, green candles, red candles, and the longer sticks at the top, those are wicks. So that means a lot. So we'll talk a little bit more about this, y'all. I'm super excited. I hope this is very helpful. And yeah, I hope that everyone have an awesome day today. If you could, please like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff, y'all. I'm super excited. And I always like to leave you with this, y'all. Be blessed as well as a blessing unto others. Until next time.